Good morning and welcome to CityLine. It's great to be home. We are live every Thursday morning, and this morning, of course, is the 9th of January 2020. Wow. We have a great hour ahead of us. Later on, we'll be talking with the Tacoma Historical Society, and this time they brought some artifacts for us, so you definitely want to hang out for that. The MLK Unity Breakfast will be here to talk about the event, what inspired this event, what you can expect, and so you don't want to miss that. That'll be in the third segment. Tacoma Community House is here. Lauren Walker-Lee. She just had her birthday on January 8th, and she is such a treasure. She's here to talk about some of the things that have happened in 2018 that they can check off the list, and a beautiful, huge award that they have just been gifted. And then, of course, the Humane Society is here. We have our Pet of the Week, and I'm not going to tell you this puppy's name, but you do want to check that out because the Humane Society is always needing your help to help our little friends find their forever home. And then with me right now is our two wonderful individuals. They are here to talk about the Martin Luther King Jr. celebration that Tacoma is known for. So please join me in welcoming. Hello there, Miss Laura Rowe.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome to CityLine.
Thank you.
You are on the City Events and Recognition Committee, which is the committee that puts on the MLK Jr. celebration. So thank you for being on that committee. And you brought this lovely one with you, Adela Schoolderman. You are also on the City Events and Recognition Committee. Welcome back, my dear.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. All right, it seems like I close my eyes in October, I open my eyes, and boom, it's MLK. It's just like it happens that quickly. So Laura, for people who perhaps don't know that we have a City Events and Recognition Committee that a lot of beautiful things come out of, what would you say to them? What is it?
So the City Events and Recognition Committee is an 11-member committee, and we have people and representatives from all of Tacoma's districts. And we're responsible for conceptualizing and planning some of the Tacoma community events that people know and recognize, including the City of Destiny Awards and the event we're here to talk about today, which is the MLK Day celebration.
I love that. So stay on that for a second. And I also want your input on this in terms of what inspired you both to get involved in this committee?
We actually have very similar stories. So we both grew up in this community and we both left for work and returned a few years ago. And there's a passion that comes about returning to your hometown and wanting to give back and seeing the growth that's happened over the past, 10, 20 years. Mm-hmm. So we really both wanted to be part of it. Mm-hmm. And so it's a great opportunity to serve and get to know people from throughout the community and throughout the city. So that's what motivated me. And I think,
yeah, what about you, Adela?
Yes, I am born and raised in Tacoma. I left in '97 for college and for work. Lived in Seattle for a number of years. Always wanted to come home. There's just something special about this place. Mm-hmm. And moved back about 2.5 years ago, just bought a house. And I wanted to Tacoma's grown so much. I wanted to be part of that and really be involved and give back to this really amazing city.
Well, you both found the perfect community to do that on. Absolutely. Let's talk about one of the events that we're here to talk about, and that's the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration. We've got a video that's going to show some footage of, I think they're probably the past years. But let's talk about, and let's start with you, Laura, about just what can we expect in terms of this year?
Sure. So this year's the 32nd annual celebration. And it was started by Melanie Denise Cunningham, who was the 2018 Peace Laureate. So we're going to pay homage to her this year. The event starts at 10 a.m. with the Community Outreach Fair. We'll start this MLK Day celebration at 11, and we'll be celebrating all the way through 1 p.m.
Oh, I love that. That's fabulous. So can you expand a little more, Adela, in terms of what the theme is this year? How did that come about?
Yeah, this year we're doing something a little bit different. We met with Mayor Woodards, and our theme is called Vision 2020, Beyond the Dream. So we're going to tell a story through a skit of an African-American leader and start when she's young and hear her stories of social injustice. And by the end of the celebration, she's going to be addressing her college peers in a speech and asking for a prayer of humanity. So it's going to be deep.
I love that. That sounds fabulous. And then you mentioned, you go on from there, and let's talk about the keynote speaker, because this event is known for its keynote speakers in the sense that we just saw people up on their feet, round of applause. So who is the keynote speaker?
So the keynote speaker is the Tacoma, Evergreen State College Tacoma Dean, which is Dr. Marcia Tate Orunga. We'll also have the King 5 Tacoma Bureau Chief, Jenna Hansard, who will be speaking on media messaging, Dr. King's media messaging, and how that applies in today's political and racial climate. And then we'll also have Coach Chelsea's Vision Step Team, which originated in the East Side neighborhood. So
that little step team is amazing. I've seen them twice now, and boy, talk about energy. What a beautiful lineup you have. It seems like that all of the areas that need to be celebrated are covered in these keynote speakers. Is there parking for the event, Adela?
Yes, parking will be free because it's a holiday, so people can park on the street. Also, people can park at Freight House Square and then take the Link Light Rail to the event from there.
Oh, that's perfect. We had talked about earlier in the segment about an outreach fair. Tell us about that, what we can expect walking through it, vendors. Just give us the whole big picture here.
Yeah, we have about 35 participants, and so these are local nonprofit services, and there will be information about how people can get involved in volunteerism in Tacoma. There will be financial services information and also educational support. And it's going to be located, it's starting at 10 a.m. the day of the event, and located in the room that is just adjacent to the main celebration. So it's room A on the 5th floor of the exhibition center.
Oh, I love that. And of those vendors that you have this year, how many of them have been involved in this event before?
I would say a good percent, I think about 75% have been there previously. And then we've got new vendors for this year as well, because we continue to grow.
I love that. And let's talk about food. We have to talk about food in the sense of coffee or something like that for people who are going to be that day. What do you have planned?
That's a good question. I don't know, because this will be actually my first event that I'm attending.
That's all right. You know what? And there's always something around the dome in terms of that. Let's talk about the City of Destiny Awards. First off, tell our viewers what they are.
So the City of Destiny Awards are a celebration of the businesses that make Tacoma and the people that make Tacoma a great city to live in. So this year's event will be held on May 28th at 5 p.m. and we're very excited to bring it to a new Tacoma neighborhood. So this year's event will be at Lincoln High School.
Oh, I love Lincoln High School. That's beautiful. Okay, so how do we go about, well, first off, when you think about this event, who should attend this event?
I would say anybody with an interest in how Tacoma is growing and an interest in the really interesting communities and personalities that make up our city.
Okay. And when we think about nominating people, Adela, who would be nominated, and can we nominate them still?
I think anyone who's, so we talked about those nonprofit service leaders and some of the people who are going to be at the community outreach fair. So anyone who's involved with volunteerism or giving back to the city, I think could be recognized and should be nominated. And the deadline to nominate people is on February 7th.
Okay.
So it's coming up.
So in that little month window there, okay.
Yeah, and can do that online at cityoftacoma.org/City of Destiny.
Oh, outstanding. And if somebody has been nominated before, can they be renominated?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Each year is a new year and you're doing new and cool things. So we're going to nominate, you can nominate whoever you think is making a difference this past year.
I love that. And then usually how many citizens are recognized during that event?
I would say somewhere between 5 and 10.
Okay, nice. Very nice. Okay. Let's talk about thank yous for this event, because this event, as I said, it's become a hallmark event for Tacoma. You don't start planning this 90 days, 6 months ago. This is a year-round event, and I'm sure once you get done with this event and you recap, you'll start moving on to next year. So who do we need to thank for all this goodness?
Oh man, there's so many people involved in this process from throughout the city. We'd like to thank Mayor Woodards, of course, for being involved. We'd like to thank the Greater Tacoma Convention Center for being the host, and then all of our committee members, our other committee members who work throughout the year, and then Kala Giles, who's our City of Tacoma liaison, who does an immense amount of work throughout the year.
She is amazing. I want to say thank you to both of you for the time that you have put on this committee, all of the hard work. These are volunteer positions. You do have day jobs and other things in your life. So for you to do this and to spend your own personal and your own precious time speaks so loudly to the legacy you're creating here in Tacoma. So thank you so much.
Thank you
for all the work that you do.
Thank you for having us.